This is a beautiful boy that's just come in for being food aggressive to his owners and probably with other dogs. We want to see how he does with dogs, and of course I'm going to introduce him to the puppies first. There we go. And let's see what they think about him. He's not even thinking about them at the moment. So we'll wait till he comes back around. And so this is the moment of truth now. What do we got? Okay, the tail is wagging with the body, so we know that's good. These are the most energetic players that I've got here. There goes Robert, he hasn't seen him yet. Let's see, we'll even notice the body language. Oh, there he goes. All right, so he's gonna be able to double time. Okay, there goes Robert. He's in to see who he is, what it's all about. 3-on-1. All right, here we go. Hair's up, you can see that. Tail is up, but the tail is moving with the body. Robert's got that grip, sort of the takedown grip. He's trying to get that mount, of course, because the mount is everything. The mount says, see that? The mount says, I got it. Look at that. But we know he's a player, you know? He's a player. And the interesting thing here is this dog has been aggressive with someone rubbing him on the side. Rubbing him on his side, maybe even rubbing him on his head. Then he growls at a human being. So, why would he do that to a human being and accept it from a dog? Why? Because this dog is being assertive and dominant with him. He's trying to figure out where he fits in on the hierarchy of things. The human being is showing love, which represents weakness in the animal kingdom. Everything that's weak in nature is dominated and eaten. Now look at this guy. Okay, he goes back with the mount. Perfect. But he doesn't see it as weakness. When we touch, it's weakness. And so we push a button within a dog that has been raised to feel that human beings are weak. We push a button in them to tell them to become assertive, dominant, and ultimately aggressive. And then all it takes is a touch, a paw, so to speak, your hand on his back to set him off. Because a paw on his back or a hand on his back is the act of dominance, but we as human beings never fall through. We never follow through. And because we don't follow through, then to the dog, we must mean something else. You see? We must mean something else. But this is a battle of physical wits and physical maneuvers to show who's got the skills. And they do it in a dominant way. Doesn't this look dominant? Isn't Robert being dominant? Isn't this little guy being dominant with him? Testing him, challenging him. Look at front, back, 3 sides flat. This guy says, hey, I don't want to be dominated. See how he kind of pushed back? That's what he has learned to do to humans. But it's much quicker. It's more of a disciplined bite, where here he's only growling. But even in the growl, this guy does not back up. He believes that he is more dominant than him. And in this play that we call dogs playing, as I say many times, that this is really just 2 dogs trying to determine who is more dominant than the other without actually fighting. You see how he comes back on him? That's all this is. This is a mock fight. A battle of physical and mental wits to find out who's more dominant. As you can see, the one that's running in nature is always weaker. The one that's creating the retreat is always dominant. So they have established who is more dominant than the other through what we call play. Now, just imagine if we were to put ourselves in this situation. It looks much, much different. Every move we make, every touch we take shows that we're weak. Because we don't understand that this is the law. This is the law of hierarchy that you're seeing right now. And because we don't see it, because we don't understand the law, we're in trouble. As I always say, it's just like getting on the top of your roof. And if you don't understand the law of gravity and you jump thinking that you're going to go up, you got some problems to deal with. It's the same thing with the dogs. I'm trying to teach people how to look at why we end up giving our dogs away, why we end up having a problem with an animal that is supposed to enhance our lives, is enhancing our misery, because we are lying to our dogs. We are making them feel something that we don't want them to feel. And the definition of insanity, we all know it, is repeatedly doing something over and over again, expecting something different. And that's what humans do. We don't spend our time, our lifetime with the dog, letting them know where we fit in. We don't spend our time dominating and challenging them in a way that makes them submit through the way nature says that it should be done. Look at this guy. He's got his hair up now. He's making his hair go up because he's chasing him. He's making him feel weak, subordinate, submissive. He's on the run now. But look at what it took. Look what Robert had to do in order to get this. He's relentless with it. You see? If the human being early on would start to do this is discipline and domination. Why do I say this is discipline and domination? Because they're making sounds and they're doing something physical to each other. That's discipline domination. The human sees discipline domination as something negative, that those are words that are bad. That's something that you would do if you were an angry person. No. What dogs are doing, even when they're playing, is a combination of discipline and domination. But it's such relentlessness to it, such physicalness to it, such hormone manipulation and mental energy that's involved with this, that it tires them out. You hear me say all the time that mental energy is more draining than physical energy. You can physically tire a dog out. That means nothing. But if you mentally tire them out, then you're getting them mentally and physically. But if you physically, it's just a physical thing. It's just a predatory thing. But how are they connected to the predatory behavior? They're not. They're chasing an inanimate object, running around, catching a frisbee or stick or a ball, which does nothing to what nature says it should be doing, but you're waking up the same hormone that's not being satisfied. But if they're doing it to each other, if they are physically challenging and disciplining each other, then they can drain each other mentally and physically. And when it's done, the balance is superb. And so now we're going to introduce him to other dogs, and we will have this same effect, and everyone will try to figure out where they fit in, and in doing so, the bond will be created. And Robert, he did a great job. We'll continue.